there's something to justify it.
Exactly.
Okay. So you
Okay.
got a deal that you think that it works, but we need to be able to justify a shorter balloon, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at it. I trust your
Okay.
judgment. Let's see.
Okay, here we go. Nice. Okay, so purchase price is going to be $528.
Wait, what kind of deal is it?
Oh, seller finance, sorry.
All right. So $528,000.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then seller finance is $476. Down payment is actually going to be $52,800, so 10%.
Okay.
Let me see. Long-term rent is $3,800,
Nice.
and then short-term, just in case, is $66.
Nice. What city is this in?
Hialeah, Florida.
Okay. All right. And then realtor commission? I'm assuming not.
No, he owns the property actually, so no.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. And then what's the taxes and the insurance?
Taxes is $67.19.
Ooh.
Yeah. Insurance is $20.16.
Okay.
No HOA.
Nice. And the monthly?
$1,200.
Ooh, this is a nice. Ooh. Okay.
Okay. Talk to me now. Talk to me. Okay.
I mean, 15,000 a year. That's not bad. Let me check one thing. Don't, if this looks bad, don't, this is for my own. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so just so we're on the same page, what I just did, I don't have a spot here for property managers.
Okay.
So, and sometimes that's usually like 9 point something stupid. It's basically 10%. I don't understand why they would just say 10%. So basically, I just added it here to see what it would be. So if someone wanted to get this deal and use a property manager, would it still work? And as you can see, it obviously does. So, okay, I'm in so far. What kind of balloon?
So obviously he said 15 would be ridiculous. I was thinking 7, but I want to see if I can push 5 or 6.
Okay, what does he want? We'll start there.
Well, I don't know, because all he said was 15 is ridiculous. And I was like, ooh, okay. It kind of stumped me a little bit. I needed time to think about it. This was yesterday. So I'm going to give.
This is a good deal.
Okay.
This is a very good deal, because here's what it looks like and this is what I don't share this with newer people, because I don't want to confuse anyone. You've been in the game long enough, you'll understand this. And I think you've seen me do this already.
Okay.
When I give you guys this entry fee percentage, this is total, right? This is including closing costs. But when you're pushing the deal, you're not pushing the deal including closing costs. You're just pushing this. So in actuality, if I take this out, now look at your entry fee percentage. Look at your cash on cash return. Don't get me wrong, they still have to pay the closing costs.
Right.
But as in terms of what the deal itself actually looks like, this is what the deal actually looks like. This is a very good deal.
Thank you. Okay, so where do
better as a hold on. I mean, I'm gonna might as well put in the short-term rental, and let's see what it is.
Oh, that number is stupid crazy.
Oh, that's a dumb number. Yeah. That's a stupid. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
So even if I added another $1,000, no, I'm sorry, $2,000 a month in expenses for this property, it would still cash flow $16,000 a year. Yeah, this is a good deal. What kind of what condition is it in?
I would say I don't know if mint would be the word. It's in good condition. It's in good condition.
Would you move your mother in?
Yeah. I mean, and it's a good, I would say, like a vacation spot, because it's 25 minutes away from Miami.
Okay.
There's going to be, it's mainly out. I don't know if South Florida housing has a lot of tile. And I mean the square tile. So that's really like the only thing that I say somebody might have a problem with, but at the same time, I'm not an investor yet, so I'm not sure how they would see it.
They have to have that because of the water, the moisture, and all that stuff.
Okay.
Most of what you're going to see is either going to be tile or really, really expensive LVP that's waterproof, resistant, and all the other stuff. So that's normal.
Okay,
in Florida,
then that makes sense. Okay. And then there's a little shed in the back. I'm not sure what that's used for, but everything is fenced off because it's like a condo style, but it's classified as single family.
But no HOA or anything like that.
Nope, no HOA, not at all.
This is a great deal. So much so, I say this lightly. Okay, this next part.
Okay.
This deal is good enough. You could probably, and I want you to dig for every year that you can, but you could probably get away with like a 3-year balloon on this.
Ooh.
You probably could with the numbers that this thing is going to be. I mean, think about it. So let's look at it. Let's do some math. Now I'm going to do this on my cell phone if you want to follow along.
Absolutely.
I'm good at math, but I'm not that good. So the cash flow on this is going to be roughly $15,000 a year, right?
Okay.
So let's say it's a 3-year balloon, right? So that means that the seller financed amount is going to drop $45,000.
Yep.
Right? No, I'm sorry. I'm doing that backwards. I'm doing that completely backwards. The monthly payment's $1,200 a month. So $1,200 a month times 12 months, that's $14,000 a year. Times 3 years, that's $43,000. So we're just about there. Okay. So this thing's going to drop $43,000. So if I take $476,000 and I subtract $43,000 from that, I get 433. Okay, so now I don't know if you have this, but I'm going to use I have a mortgage calculator on my phone. So if I do 433,000, okay, and then there's not going to be any down payment because this will be a refi. Then that'll make their monthly payment at today's interest rates about $2,700.
Okay.
So if we did 2,700, ooh, they would be losing money. Maybe a 5-year balloon.
5-year. Okay.
Now they wouldn't be losing money on the short-term rental.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I feel like most, because I've done a lot of research, there are some short-term guys out there, but it's mainly long-term. So I wanted to cater to the long-term, and if they decide to do short-term, then that's on them.
Yeah, I mean, tell him maybe start with half. Say, hey, look, you said 15 years was ridiculous. What if I cut that in half? What if we did 7?
Okay. And that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah, but word it that way. Say, what if I just take half right off? What if I can do it in 7?
Okay.
Is that better?
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so let me go ahead, and if you look at the screenshots that I sent you the other day, like I said, I use 2 different calculators, and I love yours. I love both, but I use both to get like a more in-depth perspective.
That's smart.
Okay, thank you. So the other one, it comes with let's say, like it says estimated future market value, it says estimated future rent, principal paid, and then it gives you a like a grade.
You know what? You just reminded me of something. Go ahead, keep going, but remind me of the future rent.
Okay. Future rent. Yeah. So it says estimated future rent by the balloon term. It's going to be $4,365. And I'm kind of trying to use this to pinpoint what I can ask for commission wise. So, assignment wise.
Okay.
I'm just not really sure how to, like, outside of my investor mind, it seems like a bunch of numbers past what I've learned already. So like a bunch of gibberish. I don't really understand what I'm looking at. And I was wondering if you could refer to the screenshot that I sent you to kind of help me understand what I'm looking at as an investor.
Okay, so you're talking about the one that says 30-year term at the top.
Yes.
Okay. So purchase price $387,000, seller finance $360,000, down payment $19,350, monthly payment not clean. I'm just kidding. Tax insurance $518, 120 months. Okay. $1,539. Okay, long term. Okay.
So all of this is like, if I were to go to your calculator now and plug in, this is a different situation, by the way.
Right.
And plug in the monthly payment to the seller.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me, I think it gave me that at least $300 a month, but I wanted to make sure that it wasn't pushing it. Like I don't want it to, I want it to be attractive to most investors instead of attractive to just a couple, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, well
Okay.
then let's just punch it in.
Okay.
All right, so this one's a $387,000 purchase price, if I remember correct, and then you had this one at 367,650, right? No change. And
Yeah,
then your
nope.
amortization was 30 years. Your down payment was like
Give me a second. I'm trying
19,350.
to pull it up.
Yeah, it has to be. And then the only thing I don't remember was the rent.
Rent is
18?
18. Uh-huh. And then short term was 28.
Okay. Yeah, that looks right. And then your taxes and your insurance. I don't remember seeing that.
So they calculate it all together. So I would just times it by 12 then, but I don't remember.
It was 518.
Okay, good. There you go.
So 62,200. Get rid of that. And then they wanted a monthly payment of 1,000 something, not clean.
21.
21. I mean, the deal doesn't cash flow.
Well, that's the thing. According to that calculator, it does. So my thing is, you see
Wait,
how
according to whose calculator it does?
theirs and yours, and hold on, let me say this, because it gives me the monthly payment. You guys, both of the calculators recommend the 1021. Obviously, I cannot do that number because it doesn't cash flow.
All
So I
right.
would come down a little bit. But I guess I'm just trying to figure out if those terms would apply just for you or most buyers, because why suggest a 1021 if it doesn't actually work?
I don't know why it suggested 1021. If you're saying DealSniper suggested 1021 and this calculator?
Yes. Okay, so like even if you go back to inputs
Mm-hmm.
and you know that the white box, see
Oh
how it
yeah,
says,
1021.
so they're both
But
giving you
you
the same results.
but you put this address for whatever property this is into DealSniper, and DealSniper said 1021 also?
No. I think it
Oh,
was
okay.
actually a little, I think it was like maybe 600.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay.
Yeah, because if it was 600, the deal's, yeah, then that deal works.
So I guess it's just
So
kind of
what
giving
it's
me.
no. What it's telling you here, and then what I'm assuming it's telling you on the that other thing that you showed me, is that this is what the payment would be for this loan amount at 0% interest, amortized over 30 years. You would have to give them 1021.25 to total 30 years. I'm willing to bet that if you put this address into DealSniper, if it's giving you a $600 payment, it's going to be more than 30 years because that's also at 0% interest. So,
Gotcha.
so if I put this at 35, okay, so 45, 50, it'd be about DealSniper would spit out about 50 years, in which case I would say, okay, well, you need to throw like a 7-year or 5-year balloon on that.
Okay. So I guess, like you said, the amortization portion really does not matter. It could say 65 years, and if I say 7-year balloon,
Yeah,
they're
they get
still
paid out
going to
for
get their
7 years.
money.
Yeah,
Cash flow is still going to be the same. Well, better, I guess.
exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so this is telling you that screenshot that you sent me seems like it's just another calculator that's telling you, okay, at $367,650 loan at 0% interest, your monthly payment would be 1021, and this is just confirming that. But that doesn't mean that's what we would give them. We would have to give them less, and the reason why is because this is locked in at 30 years, as I'm assuming the other screenshot you showed me was locked in at 30 years. If you were to
Yes.
change it, then it would lower or raise that monthly payment depending on how you change the years it's amortized.
Okay.
But if it's amortized, if we say $600, then yeah, it's going to make it okay. Now, in order to get to $367, $367,650, we got to pay this $600 payment over 50 years. Well, that doesn't matter if we throw a balloon on there.
Okay. Just clarifying. And then I have, if you don't mind, kind of helping me with the, I guess, disposition side.
Okay.
And let me see here. I have this specific buyer that I have, they have a contract and everything. They have a title company that they use, all of that. It's already on their PSA.
Okay.
So my question is,
And this is the buyer we're talking about.
yes, the buyer.
Okay, that's fine, because on the contract it should say title company chosen by buyer anyway.
Okay. Well, there's going to be a line that says like buyer, and then underneath it says company. So I don't have an LLC yet. I'm wondering, like I said, because they've provided several different PSAs. One is going to be a blank one. One is going to have all of their information input already. But I would feel weird signing as them because I don't work for them. So I'm not sure if I can put like my name and then their name as the company, like if that would be okay. And I should probably ask him. I'm not sure.
I'm a little confused. Which contract are we talking about? Are we talking about the purchase agreement with the seller, or are we talking about the assignment contract?
This is going to be the purchase agreement with the seller.
Okay, so the purchase agreement with the seller, you are, for all intents and purposes, the buyer. And then when you fill out the assignment contract with your investor buyer, I know it can get confusing because we're using the same terminology, but the person who's going to be paying you your assignment fee, you sign an assignment contract with them. And basically that takes the responsibility of you being the buyer and puts it on them in the eyes of everyone that's involved with the deal once you turn those two pieces of paper into title and escrow, which would be the contract between you and the seller that says you're the buyer, and then the assignment contract between you and your investor that says they're going to be the buyer. You turn both of those into title and escrow, and then they know what to do in the background.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is because, like I said, he provided a few of them. He sent me these, they buy in Florida and Texas. So he sent me one for each, like down to the TREC contract.
Okay.
They're already going to be filled in unless I choose to use the blank ones, which is perfectly fine. But for instance, on the TREC contract, it says the parties to this contract blank, the seller, obviously, and then it says their name as the buyer. So I'm trying to figure out, it seems that because I would be direct to them, that it's already filled out for them.
Okay, wait, hold on. So you've got this deal under contract already with the seller, right? With your name on it, or no?
No. I'm just trying to make sure before I even do that.
Because it sounds like that the investor that you're talking to wants your seller to sign their contract, meaning your investor's contract that's already filled out, that has all of their information on it already.
Yes.
Okay, but then my question is, how does that not cut you out of the deal?
That's what I'm wondering.
Okay, so what is the reasoning that this investor wants to do it this way rather than just do an assignment contract?
I don't know if there's actually, I can't say what their thought process is because these are questions that I felt comfortable asking you because I didn't want to look like I was second guessing or undermining them if I were to ask him.
Okay, yeah. First of all, don't ever feel that way. If you don't know, ask. And anyone that's got a problem with you asking a question probably has something to hide.
Okay.
And just say, hey, typically, I just send you an assignment contract and we just turn that into title and escrow. Are you comfortable with doing it that way? And then just see what they say.
Okay.
And then when they tell you whenever they say whatever their answer is, let me know.
Okay.
Because my BS meter is on point. So if they say something stupid, I'll let you know. If it feels off, I'll tell you.
Perfect. I'm just gonna send you a quick screenshot of just a small portion so you can see my example. Because they did send me several different ones, but this is the one that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they wouldn't just have you just send them an assignment contract, because that's normal. I mean, unless they're trying to daisy chain your deal.
Okay.
If they're trying to daisy chain your deal, then okay, real estate purchase sale agreement, binding agreement. This agreement is between the buyer, company, seller agrees to sell, and buyer agrees to buy the purchase upon terms, conditions stated. Unfortunately, it's not enough for me to see though.
Oh.
I mean, that's just a snippet, but yeah, I mean, I would just say, hey, can I just send you an assignment contract and we keep it simple? That's typically what we do. And then just see how they respond to that.
Okay.
And if they have an issue with that, then, well, I have an issue with that if they have an issue with that.
Right, because if it doesn't work with them, how am I still going to sell it? And then I don't want them to go behind my back and say, hey, well, I just don't want to be like a false representation. I don't work for them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you
Yeah.
if you were to have your buyer or your seller fill out their contract and it's just your buyer's name on it as the buyer, you're not on any of the paperwork, then what gets turned into title that says that you get your assignment fee? That's my concern. And there are some people, and I'm not saying these guys are doing that, but there are some people who will just look for newer wholesalers who don't know any better, don't have anyone to ask, and then you lost the deal and there's nothing you can do about it because legally you're not on any of the paperwork.
Exactly why I'm asking you. Okay, so that little snippet that says buyer and then company name, I could put myself down as the buyer and put company name in A, or like, for instance, if I were to put my name and then their name underneath, how does that look?
No, you can't do that because you don't work for their company. It would, if you were going to do that, then you would just put buyer name, and then if you don't have an LLC, you would just leave that blank. The company name. You leave company
blank
name.
Or
Yeah.
NA?
No, leave it blank. You don't have one. I mean, you could put NA if you want to. It's all the same.
Okay. In that case, I think that's all I had. Thank you.
Not a problem. Let me know if you need anything else.
I sure will. We're still doing the meeting today? Because I know I held you up a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be at 3:30, like normal.
Okay. Well, we'll talk then.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you later.
For sure. Thanks, Sean. Bye-bye.
No worries. See ya.